We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred.
With Maxwell Silverhammer.
We are nothing sacred. With cruise control. We are nothing sacred.
Just the two of us.
Just
to make it if we try. Just the
Hey,
two of
can't make
us.
We have tried.
And we're trying right now. This is
Yes,
the
sir.
Nothing Sacred show for the fucking July the 9th, 2023. I am Cruise Control.
And I am Maxwell Silverhammer.
And we are rolling, we're rolling just the two of us.
Dude, just us, just a regular
Doing
Nothing
our-
Sacred show.
I know we don't. A lot of people are still getting a little miffed that we don't do this anymore. Like the three people that watch us,
Yeah,
They're
those three
getting-
people are getting a little annoyed at us.
they're
Huh?
getting pissed off that we don't do our regular shows anymore. So here's a
Yeah.
regular show for
Here's
you.
one for you, man. We decided we'll do something for you. You know,
It's July, so
Plus, we got some updates and some things to tell you. So
yeah, so things are going on. You know,
yeah.
if you have been keeping track of the saga, I have a little weird, not a weird, but just I did something that is a big deal for certain people, for me at least. I haven't done it. I don't think I ever have actually. I went over to a buddy's of mine this weekend, and I didn't drink a drop of alcohol.
And he was like kind of your drinking buddy for a while, wasn't
Well, not this is drinking buddy, but just whenever you go over to they call
he? Yeah,
it
he always had a lot of beer.
the
I remember.
Ranger Resorts. There's always beer. They're always having cocktails and and so I restricted myself to the THC.
And that was it, huh?
Yeah, and it was interesting though because I had just as much fun pretty much. I mean, because that's the thing. You think like, oh well, I need to be on the WAV line.
Yeah,
maybe like that that old line. Dude, you're not on my WAV line, dude.
Yeah,
So you're gonna be on the same exact WAV line. So you gotta drink some fucking alcohol because we're all drinking alcohol.
yeah. If you're a posse, if you're not drunken.
No, no, that's definitely
That was that was never a thing, but there was always the
that
kinda fuck
was
with
a thing when you were like 17, when you're trying to prove yourself.
you. Yeah, well, even in college a little bit too. There was
Yeah,
some
of course. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
bullshit.
17 to 20, 25.
Yeah.
Dude, but why are you afraid of it? It's like, dude, I just didn't want to do it because the last couple of times I have, you guys know, if you listen to our other stuff, you know the story. But
Right.
so I've been chilling off that. So today is another 4 weeks.
Damn. So it's been a month for you?
Yeah, it's been since the 11th of June.
Damn.
I woke up the 12th, was like, nope, I'm done with this. Don't like this. And I was fucked up for like 2 weeks. So
Damn. Well, see, yep. And so it was just a reminder. You're like, okay, this is why I don't like doing this shit.
this is why I don't like doing this anymore because, and especially depending on your state of mind. Like I've been dealing with some personal stuff, as everyone knows. And when you're
Right.
doing that, and it's already making you anxious and makes you kind of depressed because you've gotten drunk before and woken up and going, I don't want to do anything today.
Oh yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah.
do I want to listen to music? No. Do you want to watch videos? No. What do you want to do? I don't know. You ever get that feeling? You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Where you're like,
Kinda
I
where you're
don't
just
wanna
like,
fucking-
You don't
and
like someone will ask you, well, what do you want? And you're like, I don't fucking know.
yeah, and
You
then
know?
and then you're thinking about like you have a party you go on Friday. I don't want to go to the party Friday. Ugh. Like that, like later on, obviously you feel better. But you know what I'm talking about? Where
Yeah, in the
everything's
beginning,
negative. You're like,
yeah,
or you get nervous, like, oh, if I go to that party and I get drunk again,
and I might barf and then fucking, oh, dude.
or dude, I don't know if I just want to. You just don't want to do anything like
Yeah.
gaming or anything else,
Well,
But that kind of it's interesting just to see how people act too, because you do have that moment where you get, like you try not to, but people when they're drinking can get annoying.
yeah.
It's
And
like,
then now you see it.
"Hey!" And you're
You
like,
see
you're
it
not
more
there.
often when you're sober, right? You see that you're like,
Yeah.
damn, I never noticed that about that fucker.
or at least sober off that, because I was definitely smoking and having a good, hey, what's going on? You're having a good time, and just
Right.
wowed out, you know what I'm saying? Because I can do
Right.
that up here in Oregon for all you selling people. We can do that up here. We can get stand up here, you fucking rednecks. Take it, bitches. Tennessee motherfuckers. Yeah, fuck you.
Actually, yeah, in a lot of southern states, I think it's still illegal.
Oh, in most states it's still illegal.
Damn, that's
But
crazy.
it ain't here, so I can talk about it and do it.
Yeah.
Fuck you. But
Yeah.
that was my thing. But dude, it was just because what happened? You remember certain shit, like, especially when you get really buzzed and you go to sleep and you're like half out of it.
Yeah.
That wasn't me. I was like, because usually when I go over there, it's like there's beer everywhere. It's like beer is always good craft beer and shit. It's strong.
Oh yeah, and it knocks
So,
you on your ass.
Yeah. So,
You know.
yeah, and I was actually, this is how you need to chill out on something. Is when before you go over there, you're nervous because you're like, oh dude, everybody's gonna have a fucking drink, and what am I gonna do? And it's like, no.
Huh.
I got there and I was cool, because and it was a lot of fun, man.
So you actually had fun. You didn't have trouble sleeping, nothing, huh?
Well, I had trouble sleeping, but that's because I wasn't in my
in your house,
in my apartment, and it was just there wasn't enough cool on me. I like to have it a little cooler, and I like to have a fan blowing on me.
Gotcha.
And it just wasn't, so it wasn't necessarily because of that. It was because of, and I had too much fucking sugar. That's one thing I noticed, dude. I can't handle dude. I had fucking 5 cookies, and this ice cream and shit, and I was nibbling on fucking
oh yeah, because they always got
the whole
food
night.
too.
But when you get older, you think, oh, that doesn't affect. Because when you're a kid, you're like, oh, you eat a fucking big quart, a fucking
quart of ice cream, you'll still fall asleep.
Yeah, you still fall asleep. Now I was like,
yeah, man.
I'm laying there. You know what I'm saying? I'm going. I'm like, I feel like a little wired, because I was like, why did I have that fucking peanut butter cup?
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I had these express. One time I went to Starbucks back in the day when I was with Shell, and I had an espresso brownie and a frappuccino.
Well, that's because they have caffeine in it.
Yeah, well, I could not sleep, dude. I was up all fucking night,
Yeah, well, that doesn't have anything to do with the sugar. You think that's going to happen because you have frappuccinos have caffeine.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, dude, like you were saying, if I was a kid, if that had been 30 years ago, I could have eaten that shit and still been asleep.
Yeah,
but, so you're affected differently now.
I'm just talking about sugar though, man, because it's like I was like, oh, it's just sugar. And I was like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I was like, I'll just have one cookie today. Next day, I'm like, it's 8 o'clock. No, I slept last night, and then but it was funny. And I went out rafting yesterday. I was on the fucking river. So that's fucking redneck drinking. Like, dude, you gotta have.
Oh yeah, definitely. River. You should be drinking if you're doing something like that, right?
No, you should. You should, right? You quote unquote should. Why? Why do you need to drink to go?
Well, it's just
it's just the thing. It's like with Thursday nights or Tuesdays or whatever.
Right.
Dude, it's Friday night. You better have a beer.
Yeah. It's one of those things. But
it wasn't. It was just as fun or even more fun. In ways, because I knew that I wouldn't be waking up going, dude, what? Well, that was so much fun. What was your favorite part?
I don't remember
that part in the afternoon, between the second and third beer. No.
Well, damn. I got my own little news too, man.
Yeah, you're taking control of your life as well.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. All right, because I'm kind of thinking why this thing on my leg isn't really healing, because I got bad circulation, and part of the reason for the bad circulation is probably the nicotine.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, you know what? I kind of did, I do my little weird shit sometimes. So the other night, I'm like, all right, man, I'm going to watch a YouTube video. And if I get a phone call or a text while this YouTube video is going, that means I do need to quit dipping in order to allow my leg
so
to
it had nothing.
And I fucking get a phone call. And I was like, okay. See, like me, I believe in higher power, man. So, I figured, well.
So you're not actually going to go by any evidence or any shit like that, or any if I don't get the reports done by, if the next report on my leg is not good, I'm gonna chill. It's like, no, I'm gonna do some fucking random shit. Like, if this are called during this YouTube video.
Yep. That's what I did, and I got a phone call. So I'm like, okay. So now, what I've been doing, well, that was Friday night. So, the last 2 days, like yesterday, now I have that fake chewing tobacco, and I've been doing that. And honestly, I haven't completely stopped chewing.
Wait, there's fake chewing tobacco?
Yeah, it's like nicotineless chewing tobacco. My brother got me a bunch of it, dude.
Really?
So, and there's something called Back Off too, which I have some of that as well, and it's also.
Oh wow! So what did your bro get you this stuff?
Dude, he got me that stuff like last year.
Oh, so it's just all old and shit.
Yeah, but it's been sealed up, so it's still
Yeah,
good.
That's true.
You
That's
know,
true.
so it's nothing. But I know he's been asking me for a while, you know, hey, have you tried the shoes I've gotten you, man? Did you ever get a chance to check those out? Did you, you know, because that's why he got them for me, really. So anyway, I usually, like today I've only had 2 real dips, you know, and the rest of them have been all the fake chewing tobacco
And
that I've been doing.
it's at our right now. It's a little after 5:15 p.m. our time. You've been up for how long?
Since 8:30 this
How
morning.
many would you have had if you had?
Oh, dude, I probably would have been already, what, 4 or 5?
Okay, so you're cutting it down.
Yeah.
Now this is going to the interesting thing is going to be
but you
how
know
it
what?
affects you in a couple of days.
Yeah. Well, and here's the other crazy thing is like, I was honestly, the thought of quitting was scarier than the actual quitting.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like when now that I'm doing it, I'm like, I'm not really, even when I have a regular dip, I'm like, okay, it's not much different than the fake chewing tobacco, really, honestly. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder. Well, that's right now. So you're going to have to wait until, and if you really cut down, like if you actually tried a day without actual dip,
Like no dip at all. Yeah, yeah. Well, it'll get there, man, for sure.
Well,
It's just
not no dip at all, but no real dip. Like if you had the fake dip all day to see, because what you're trying to see is if it's the fake dip, if it's the actual act of dipping,
yeah.
or
I think
if it's the actual nicotine, because the nicotine definitely has an effect, obviously.
sure, but I'm not really, honestly, like, okay, yesterday when I had my second dip of the day, I was like, you know, this isn't really that much you know, I wasn't like a relief, you know, as soon as I took that dip I was like, oh, that felt so good, you know. This was almost like, you know, fuck, I could chew the other stuff and still get the same feeling, you know.
I would be, because right now your body's still full of the probably all the other, you know, shit, nicotine from the day before and shit like that, you know.
It could be, yeah.
So like it's a week or so out or more than that that's going to show you the real deal, because
right.
Here's another you know, because that's the way it kind of like creeps up on you. It's like the same thing with alcohol. Like, oh, I'm not drinking for a couple of days. You
Right.
know, you know, I don't feel I don't want to drink tonight. Next night, I don't want to drink. The next night, like, yeah, dude, I need to go. It'd be nice to go down to fucking Runner for a beer.
I don't know though, man, because I've seen some people when they quit cold turkey and they're fucked up, dude. Like the next day, you know what I mean?
From dip.
Or just cigarettes. I've seen people like, oh, I'm gonna quit. Okay, case in point, Sluggo. You know, I mean, as soon as he ran out,
he couldn't handle even hours. Yeah.
No, he was like, I remember that one time. Well, you were here, the New Year's, remember? I'm gonna quit smoking. Remember? And that lasted what? Not even 24 hours?
No, the next one like 7. He's like, can I just get one?
Yep. See?
So it'll be interesting though, because that's probably the one that's going to be the hardest one to get rid of, is the one when you get up.
Yeah.
Dip when you get up. That dip when you get up.
The early morning dip. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. That'd be interesting to see if you tried to use a fake one on that one and how your day would go. That would show you something. That's
interesting. Well, you know, I am going to get these. They're lozenges. They're, you know, like nicotine. You know, like instead of the nicotine patches, so they're lozenges. So I'm going to start doing those too. So, but I honestly though, man, I'm not. It's not this horrible thing, you know. Like I said, I was more afraid of it. I thought, oh my god, this is gonna fuck me up. I'm gonna be in such a bad mood. I'm not gonna want. Nobody's gonna want to be around me, and I'm actually cool.
The real test, like I said, will be when you quit completely, and when you and just after a couple of days, just doing that.
Yeah,
because your body's probably not like, your body's like, oh, he'll go back to doing stuff.
Right, you give him a week.
Oh, give him a week, and where is it? Where's my 3 o'clock one? He only did a 7 a.m. or if you skip the 7 a.m. Wait a second, this isn't real. Where's the, you know, this? If you do a fake one in the morning, like, this is bullshit. Your body knows. Your body knows that shit, man.
Well, what I'm going to start doing is I am going to take a can of the fake chew with me to work, because that's where I'm going to be, you know, most of my time.
Exactly.
So I'm going to take that with me to work. And see
not bring a regular one.
Nope. Leave a regular one at home.
So we have to find out about this, because that's going to be different. Because if you don't have the choice and you can't make you know.
Yeah, like here I can make the choice. But I've been good. You know, I've been chewing the fake stuff. So, and that seems to be fine. Like I said, I'm not.
It might be an oral fixation
it might just be,
Well,
just having the oral thing going,
we'll be checking up on one of the later shows. So stay tuned, our fearless listeners, because you might miss the time when we talk about the next update will probably be on our shrink wrap show or
probably yeah when I start
no but then I'm just talking about just telling us how it goes, how it's going
yeah
in terms of
now,
not having going to work for that 8 hours.
Now last night I did drink, so I did have a dip, while I was drinking. I always try to tell myself though, just one dip when drinking, you know what I'm saying?
Until you have like 7 beers and you're like no.
Yeah, well, that's it. Even then, like no dipping until this is it. You get one dip for drink. Remember how it used to be? I would, have a few beers, then I'm gonna have a dip. And another few beers, another dip.
Yep, that's interesting.
So
we'll see how it goes.
We're not doing that. Trying not to do that anymore.
It's funny though. They were doing the same thing. They were giving me quote unquote mocktails on Friday night. So like but it'd just be like a coconut drink with some LaCroix. LaCrux is like LaCroix.
Okay.
LaCroix sparkling water, the lime water with a little coconut and some stuff. So I'd have this fucking drink, and it is true though. A lot of times that's one of the things they say about people who are quitting alcohol, is if you have a drink in your hand and it's non-alcoholic, it's still a drink in your hand, because when you're drinking at a party, you always have a fucking beer in your hand.
Right.
What's up? So when you're drinking at a party with a soda in your hand or some water or anything just to drink, you're still kind of getting that like I'm drinking with everybody feeling.
Right. Well, and that's it. I think a lot of it could be the act. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like oral fixation.
Yeah. So just the fact of spitting into a cup, or something is okay for me. It's like, okay, this will work. This is cool.
That's cool, man. See, but you're making progress, man.
Yeah. And also, want to tell you too, I'm switching wound care places, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because my mom's not too thrilled with the one I'm going to, and the other one that she had me go to, they did some more tests and some extra shit, that I was like, oh, okay, and and plus what they'll do for me is, since they're a private practice, they can have it set up where I have an in-home care person come change my dressing on my leg, because the thing is, they were telling me at the new place, Wound Care Experts, they were saying that, that dressing really should be changed every 3 times a week. So, this way I don't have to make a trip every time. Yeah. So they set up this in-home care, these people. Matter of fact, they're today was the first day they came over. They came over this morning.
And it was just quick and easy, boom, boom, and right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they were a little bit out of it. They went to the fucking white trash weekly pay, and then they called me and they're like, we went to 251 and it wasn't you. And I'm like, that's because you have, that's why I gave you a gate code. You have to come in the gate. It's the place behind the white trash weekly pay. And they were just like, oh, okay. So, and then, so I was a little bit like, oh, fuck, this may be a bad thing,
No, but then they got it covered now. So
they got, now they know where I'm at. And, then the one lady, there was 2 women. One was a Filipina and the other was like a Indian or something like that, woman. Mm-hmm. And I guess they were asking me if I had supplies, and I'm like, supplies? No, so I guess that meant, I don't know what we'll need specifically. I guess we'll have to ask the wound care place. But anyway, so I'm going back to Summerlin one more time just to give them the bad news on Thursday. It's funny too, because my mom and that doctor seem to be they have a little verbal jujitsu sometimes, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like just back and forth. Like you can tell it's done very tastefully, but you can tell that they're both.
They don't like each other.
Yeah, that they go at each other.
So and you're like, whatever, Mom. I just want to get this fixed. So.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm kind of like, all right, that's cool. You're advocating for me. You're not just letting them feed me any bullshit. But Summerlin said they couldn't do the in-home care, and they were saying, because you're mobile, blah blah blah, you can leave your house, you don't need in-home care. Where this other place said, no, we'll get that for you. And so, that's where I'm starting with them this next week. So hopefully,
cool, man.
We'll have some good results here. We'll see.
Good, man. Finally.
Yeah.
And maybe helping out with. But the thing is that regardless of whether it has a role in this wound, it's going to be better for you regardless. Cutting down.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's the thing about where I'm coming from too. You know, it's like regardless of sleep or anything else, it helps. First of all, I can just feel I've lost like fucking. I'm like I weighed myself the other day. I was like 178.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now
And,
that's the thing. I am gaining weight, dude, because I can't work out. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, because they told me I can't work out. So I'm like, ah, fuck. You know, I don't see the harm of getting on the treadmill though and just doing a walk.
Sweat.
Not the he daddy one that I do, but just a
Sweat.
little walk, you know?
Sweat.
It's the sweat. Yeah.
Yeah, think about it. That's part of it too. It's not necessarily then moving your leg, although that probably has something to do with it too. But I was thinking about the other day. It's like
Sweat
when
getting
you're
in
moving
there.
that sweat rolling down your leg, it forms under your cast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah. So
Yeah, so that's why you can't do either because what is sweat? Sweat is releasing
it's toxins and shit.
And
yeah.
so you're releasing toxins in there.
And you're dumping toxins into an open wound.
You're sweating underneath the dressings they have on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like so that's probably part of it too. So that sucks, but that's that now you have to try to lay off some food or do something to lay off have 7 beers instead of 10 beers.
Right. Well, you know, we'll see with I just want to get this motherfucker closed, dude, so I can get back to life. You know what I mean? Fuck this shit. But the one thing that they both wound care centers said is that unfortunately these wounds do take like 3 to 4 months to heal.
Yeah.
Which so I'm like, fuck, you know, but we'll see. Now that I, you know, like I said, I'm cutting back with the chewing. You know, I'm trying to be I'm good. I don't, you know, nothing dumb.
Well, no, I think but that's the thing you should be doing anyways, you know. And it's not like just because we are getting older and you know, like I said, you know, it does affect certain things. So it's like, you know what, why not try to see if I could take a little off, you know, and try it.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
And now I know, like, it's interesting about this weekend too, is that now because that's the hardest thing to do when you're going over to a friend's house. So you always go over there and party, and everybody else is having tequila and skinnies and you know and drinking beers, and if I wanted wine, you know, whatever. And you're just chilling there. If you can, and then the next day you go on a river where everyone has a beer, or not everybody. It's a couple of other people weren't doing that, but that most you can have a beer. Like they were like, "Do you want a beer?" And I was drinking fucking bubbling water and shit like that, sparkling water.
Oh, okay.
And I had these drinks, awesome drinks. They're called Roar, and they're complete hydration drinks.
Well, that's what you should be drinking anyway. Shit.
Yeah, but they're not like they don't taste like that fucking. They taste really really good, like an actual like a juice drink.
Oh, okay.
But they're low sugar, and so it's like and they're not made with fucking sucralose and a bunch of aspartame and all that shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I found a new drink that I'm gonna get. What was I going with that? But the thing is, now I know that I can do it. Now I know that I can go anywhere. Now I know that since I've done it, and I was like, that wasn't that hard.
Well, that's like I said. The scary part is the thought of it.
Yeah, and right? I was like, oh, it's gonna be. And there were moments where I was like, oh, it'd be nice to have a beer. But then I was like, I know how I'm gonna feel tomorrow if I do.
Right.
But before I was like, oh god, am I gonna be in a good mood? You know, because my mood's been kind of, and I've been kind of coming out of that too a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's same shit. You know, the thought's scarier than the actual act of it. You know,
and then now I can go to I can go to do an improv jam at a bar. I don't give a shit now. Like I can do that. If I can resist a beer there with good friends who are all doing that kind of thing, having a good time. Then I can go to a fucking bar or a place. And I have done that a couple of times over the last couple of months. So it's actually been a lot easier. Like I said, in the next test for you, is tomorrow or whenever you're doing. Are you doing that? Well, you're off tomorrow.
I'm off tomorrow. Yeah. So it'll be the next Tuesday when I go.
Yeah. So
we'll see what happens, man.
That'll be your first big test.
Yup. See how that works.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Want to talk about a little, incompetence, dude.
Incompetence?
Incompetence. Yeah. Okay. So I didn't tell this story. I was going to tell this on the drink wrap a few weeks ago, but when we had Father's Day, we took our dad out to dinner, and so the waitress comes by, and she wasn't very engaging. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know she was asking us for our orders until my brother was like, "Oh, hey, you guys ready to order?" So then I guess he heard her where the rest of us didn't, because we were all talking.
Yeah.
So we order our food, and she's gone for a long time. It's like 30 minutes. So then she comes back and she goes, I'm sorry. Can I get you guys orders again? Somebody stole my book with all my orders in it. And we're just like, my brother and I are pissed. We're going, oh, dude, we are about to Karen it up. But see, my brother was smart because he wanted to wait until we got our food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we order again. We're totally pissed off. We're both going, oh, dude, we use motherfuckers.
Are your dad? Who is everybody else pissed off?
Well, but my brother and I were the most vocal ones.
Of course, you guys, because you guys are old crotchety bastards.
Yeah, we're just like, dude, fuck these people. We're gonna fucking feed it to them. They're gonna
getting all happy about it.
Oh yeah, well, kind of. I mean,
yeah, of course, because it's righteous indignation. It makes you feel good.
So then finally somebody else brings our orders out, right? And so then the manager comes out and he's like, "Is everything okay?" So that's when, well, my brother did most of the talking. He told her, what happened. And the manager goes, He goes, "That's not the story she told me."
Oh, wait, no, hold on a second. Let's go back. This is a great story already. Let's go back. So basically, did the manager come out because you asked for the manager?
No, we never asked for a manager.
Oh,
we never asked for a manager at all. He just came out and said, "Is everything okay?"
Oh, but you know why he did that?
Because he knew something was fucked up.
Well, it's because she had to have told him that she fucked or she got. So what?
So we didn't see her the rest of the night. So I'm thinking, dude, I bet you she got let go like that same night. She must.
It wasn't a rinky dink fuck. This we're not talking about
Applebee's. No, this is a place called Kona Grill, actually.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's definitely a little bit, whatever the place. Kona. Okay, so the manager did come out though.
Yep.
And he goes, "That's not." He didn't tell you her story though, did he?
No, he didn't say what she said. He just my brother told the story and said, then she tells us that her book got stolen and that's how she lost all the orders and she had to get everyone's order again. And he goes, "Well, that's not the story she told me." That's all he said. So I don't know what he was told. God knows what she said.
So what'd you get? The meal for free?
Actually, you know what he did? He knocked, I think it was half off.
Okay.
I think he took half the. So we were cool with that. We're like, okay,
yeah, that
cool.
makes sense because he actually came out and addressed the issue.
Yeah.
And
so that was we didn't see her at all anymore. But that it just seems like there's more and more of that shit going on, dude. Just entitlement and just fucking Ida Derb. I should get a paycheck just for being here.
Well, a lot of them, there's a new thing called quit your job before quitting your job. Have you heard of that?
No, what's that?
That is when you keep your job, but you do the bare ass minimum you actually absolutely need to do, and just do the absolute bare minimum. And if they fire you, so what?
Where does this come from?
This comes from people like Ida Durbin at its corporate. People just don't have a work ethic anymore.
Wow, dude.
It's actually a funny story that you mentioned this because I got a ride home with the Turkey's kids.
Okay.
Well, his kid and his girlfriend.
Okay.
And she's a manager at a supermarket. She was talking about this guy who literally is sitting there telling her, "Yeah, I'm this is just a job for me," and she's a manager there.
He's telling her this, and he's one of her employees.
Yeah, she's a grocery store. He goes, "Yeah, I'm just here to do this job, just until I can find something, better." It's like they but that's the thing. They feel like they can just, they say that they don't fucking even say, "Hey, I'm gonna." So he's like, I'm not gonna try. I'm not trying. He basically admitted to not trying hard. So
and they're totally cool with admitting some shit like that.
Yeah. Or whatever. Yeah, it's like almost like you're supposed to understand. And they go, "Yeah, that's the corporate way. By the way, I'm a manager here."
Wow.
that doesn't matter because I understand your point of view.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and of course she's like, "I'm trying to find ways to make the job." Because I get it, corporate America is fucking soulless and heart, corporate, heartless.
Of course. Yeah. But
and
at the same time, man, if you're doing a job,
you're getting paid for it but that's the thing. They take it for granted for working,
wow.
or they just feel like they're better than that or going to be doing, because especially this a lot of younger people, because they don't know any better. "Oh, I'll just get a better job later. But by the time I'm 30, I'm going to be making millions,
Yeah. I'm going to get one of these, like that software that calculates money and I'll make money while I sleep, that kind of bullshit. Right.
Yeah. Or whatever. Or just they don't have the same, they don't think getting a paycheck entitles you to work as hard as you can for it.
I mean, I've even seen some Corporaticons with that mentality, dude.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
that's what I'm saying. It's mainly like office workers. You know,
Yeah.
people.
Oh, totally.
They will
Yeah.
they'll do the bare ass minimum they can possibly get away with, and that's a philosophy. Let me actually look it up here and see if I can
That-
find it here.
That's crazy, man. Fucking crazy. Well, that's like our building we work in. So we have a building manager and I don't know what the other chick is, but anyway, it used to be that somebody had to be at that front desk because you know how our office suite is. It's an office suite, and there used to be a person at the front desk. So if someone came in looking for a specific business, they could call you and say, "Hey, your client's out here. Come on out." Or you've got mail here,
Yeah.
or some shit.
Let me give you the okay. Keep going. Go ahead.
Oh, so anyway, what they've done now is they put in this like an iPad type thing, and you type in the person you're trying to meet, and it calls you and sends you an email and says, this is the front desk receptionist. You're whoever is in the front lobby for you or whatever, So, and actually, somebody came Friday to meet with me, and he was just like, man, he said, that girl came out, I didn't really know how to work it. He's an older dude, and he says, I didn't really know how to work this thing. And she was like looking at me like I'm an idiot and treating me like I'm an idiot, like I'm stupid. But yeah, that's how shit is, dude. It's this fucking robotic,
It's called quiet quitting.
Quiet quitting?
Yeah, and it's quiet quitting is you're not outright quitting your job, but you're quitting the idea of going above and beyond. You're still performing your duties, but you're no longer subscribing to the hustle culture mentality that work has to be that work has to be your life. Okay, and I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree. Work doesn't have to be your life, but when you are at a job, what you're doing is if you do the bare minimum, and other people are relying on you to do stuff, you're going to screw up everybody else there too.
Yeah, you're fucking your coworkers too. You're not just fucking the company.
Yeah,
So
and it's like,
go ahead.
It's just, and it's the idea is just, it's fucked up because you're hurting everybody else. It's basically just an entitlement, like I'm not going to quit like this job. If you're dissatisfied with something at your job, instead of quitting, you just do the bare minimum. And
I'm just going to do the bare minimum. All shows is you're still going to send me a paycheck.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Now I don't know if this chick wasn't, because this is an interesting mystery. I'd like to know what really happened to that fucking.
I'd like to know the story she told her manager.
Yeah, like what's the real story about? How could you lose it? Did you just leave your book somewhere and just forget?
Well, who would take your book? What are they going to do with your book?
Yeah, who's going to steal your book?
Like with orders in it? Like, okay.
Yeah, like why would you say that to the customers too? Someone stole my book.
Yeah. No, actually, my brother thought she might be on drugs. Actually, that was his hypothesis. So he's like, I think she was on drugs, man. So I don't know. Well, he would know. He would know.
That's like a couple of old men though. What? They forgot our order.
Yeah, well, but
you know what? I think they might be on drugs. I see.
Nah, it wasn't an old guy. I think it's something where he just picked up on something. Because trust me, dude, he would know.
No, I know. I'm just talking just the way it sounds. Like if someone
like old people talk. Like, I bet you're on drugs.
I bet they're on drugs. I bet that's what's going on there, But
the good thing is though, you guys were actually reasonable with because here's the other side of it. You guys are reasonable with the manager.
Oh, totally.
I could see a motherfucker saying, "What? You're only giving us half off?"
Yeah, there are some people like that. That's what's
that's not acceptable. You need to give us a free meal. The free meal should be free. That kind of bullshit.
Yep. Oh yeah. Nothing's ever good enough. Nah, man, we were happy that he even came out and addressed the issue. We're like, oh, that's cool, man.
That's always the first start. Just communicate and the thing is, you didn't have to ask him to come out.
No, he just came out. We didn't.
Believe
me, we would have gone looking for him. We would have gone, but we didn't have to.
Yeah, and that's another plus for him. So you guys did the right calculation. You got a good deal off it, half off. Good job.
Yep. Totally cool.
Good job, man. Great job. That's called conflict resolution.
Damn right, de-escalation.
You guys are the non-Karens. You guys are Karenless.
Well, I see a lot of passive aggressive shit too. I'll tell you a paratransit story. We got to have a paratransit story.
And this is leading into the next story, of course. Yeah.
Of course. Well, here's what it was. I get on the bus, and it's okay. It's hot as shit out here right now.
Yes.
And it's hot as fuck on the bus. So I say to the driver, and they got these new they're vans. They got these new kind of vans too, which are kind of pieces of shit. The drivers don't really like them. The clients don't really like them, but whatever. So anyway, I go.
That's paratransit. They get new vans, and they're worse than the other ones.
Yeah. Oh, the buses are way better than the vans, dude. Fuck the van. Those vans are shit. They need to get rid of those. Anyway, I get on there and it's hot as fuck. And I said, hey, do you mind turning on the air conditioner, please? And she's like, it blows out hot air. And I'm like, well, but at least it's blowing out air. So she turns it on and it's fine. It's blowing good air, air conditioned air. So I'm like, what the fuck is this bitch's problem? So anyway, we go and we get to the next pickup. And she says, we're early for this person. I said, oh, how much earlier? She was like 30 minutes. And I'm thinking, now, bitch, you expected me to sit on a hot fucking bus for 30 minutes waiting on somebody.
Well, there are two things wrong with this fucking equation already.
Right.
The first is the fucking air conditioning thing. The second is that you're sitting there waiting for 30 minutes.
Yep.
I want to ask you, how long did it take you to get to your place? Are you the next stop after that?
Actually, no, we picked this guy when it was time for him to finally come out. He came out, then we took him, and then they took me.
And how long did that take?
That was probably a whole nother hour.
Fuck, dude. You were on there for an hour and a half?
Yeah, about an hour and a half. Yep, because I was picked up about, but
that's
it was
stupid.
fucking...
What, they could have fucking taken you.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, the pickup was fairly close to my work. But you're right. I mean, so to have to fight back across town, I kind of can see the logic. But the problem was, hey, you expected me to sit on a hot fucking bus for 30 minutes?
Oh, man, it's lame. When I hear that, we're 30 minutes early. How could you schedule that shit? And especially and obviously it was late in the day, right?
Yeah, it was afternoon.
So you're wasting 30 minutes of time that could be spent picking somebody else up who was either closer to your side of town or somebody else there, and then coming back to pick this person up.
Right.
That whole chunk of time was you and her sitting on your asses
on a
doing
bus,
nothing during fucking rush hour traffic. Yeah,
yep.
That's why the fucking company. That's
well,
why
and here's the other thing. So this guy gets
Christ,
on,
man.
Right? He gets on, and then she shuts the air off again. So I'm like, what the fuck? Why'd she turn the damn air off? So I thought maybe the guy was cold or something, So I thought, okay, I'll let it go. So we drop him off, and when he gets off, I said, hey, do you mind turning the air back on? She's like, it's on too. And I'm like, well, I don't feel it back here. Can you please turn it back on? So she does turn it on. And when we get to my house, I always say thanks to the drivers, when I get off. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Thank you. And I said, thank you. And she didn't respond. I said it twice. And I'm like, this bitch is pissed off for some fucked up reason. So I don't know what her problem was, if she was starting to, maybe have plantation flashbacks and want to, hey, Lordy, pick a bill of cotton.
You know what I'm thinking, dude?
What's that?
I'm thinking that the air might be fucked up. And when she turns it on in the back, it takes away from the air in the front because it's a fucking van.
Oh.
And so she was probably hot using all the not getting as fucking much air up front
for her as opposed to what we were getting.
And so therefore, because why else would she have a problem turning the thing on the air? You think she really wants to be fucking hot like that?
Right. Well, there's two units from what drivers have told me. Because I even asked, I said, do the vans have two units like the buses do? Because I know that there's one for the driver and one for the passengers. And everybody tells me, yeah, there's two units on those vans. And I'm like,
she's just a bitch, dude. Maybe she was vindictive about something, man.
Pissed off. Yeah, I don't know what her problem was, but whatever
boy,
it was, because
motherfucker.
There was nothing wrong with that air conditioner. I'm telling you right now, man, it was feeling good when she had it on.
Yeah, dude. And that's the thing. There's nothing wrong.
So yeah, there we go, man.
I still can't get over that though. You're sitting there for 30 minutes just with your thumb up your ass, just sitting in a fucking van for both of you.
Exactly. Well, you're gonna have to wait. That's what you're gonna have to do.
And then she probably can get out and walk around, but you can't get out and walk around.
Oh shit. Well, she was just sitting on actually she was on her phone. I could hear her playing on her phone. Yeah. So I know that's what she was doing. So yeah, I love that too. There's drivers that won't let, because I know that we've been places and there's people that want to get off and have a cigarette or something while they're waiting, and the drivers won't let them off. They'll say, "Oh no, you got to stay on here."
In this fucking vehicle,
yeah,
they can't do that.
No, they really can't. Actually, I told you I had a driver pull that shit.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like that. So that kind of bullshit is, and maybe she was like man, these fucking retards ain't gonna know there's fucking no
You won't know if
air
the
in
air
the
conditioning on or not. Not like you
Yeah.
can see it's on.
Like who fucking knows why she would? I'm thinking still it has some effect on the air in the front or something.
And that seems like the most plausible
yeah, the
thing.
most it's just selfish fucking reason and ridiculous,
Right.
but
right.
it's still more plausible than or because the other reason just like fucked up. Like I don't need to turn this shit on. You know,
Like I'm just a bitch.
there has to be a reason for it, unless she's just a fucking bitch. You know,
Yeah, could be.
Or
Who knows?
maybe she's had you before and she didn't like
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't know, dude. Yeah, it's possible. Maybe she remembered me from some other. But like I said, I don't have a whole lot of issues with the drivers. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, every once in a while, but that's.
She wouldn't even say, "You're welcome" or "Have a good day."
Oh yeah, no, nothing. Just I just thank you. And
some people, man, it's so fucking simple to just because you're gonna remember that shit and that person as a shit person.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And it's so easy just to say, "Oh, you have a good day as well." You know,
exactly.
So little fucking effort. You know,
right. And you could even been sarcastic when you said it. Yeah, you have a good day as well. You know, and it wouldn't. You know, I couldn't question it.
Yeah, it's like fucking ridiculous, man. I
don't know, man. People are on their own shit. So, what it is. So what you had some other shit you were wanted to talk about, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, we're going back and forth this time. I just wanted to talk about okay. It's not about the whole cocaine in the White House thing.
Okay.
But it's just fucking ridiculous, funny as fuck how that no one knows who that cocaine is from.
Yeah.
You know, you heard about that, right?
Yeah, it's probably more Hunter Biden bullshit.
Yeah, but my point is like that's cocaine in the White House. That's not a fucking like that's obviously came from one of the family members of Biden.
Right. Somebody brought that shit in.
It's not a big deal to a lot of people, and the reason why it's not a big deal to a lot of people is because who's in the White House. This is what I want to talk about. I just want to say this: if they found cocaine
and Donald Trump was
in the White House, and Donald Trump was in the White House,
oh, dude, he'd be gone.
It wouldn't just be that he would be gone, which I don't know if he'd be gone. But it'd be an absolute uproar, and all these fucking people who's like, it's not a big deal. Like no one's talking about it about Biden doing that. No liberals are going, this is awful.
Yeah.
My point is that if it was Trump, they'd be saying, oh my God, that this shouldn't be happening. It's a disgrace to the White House.
It'd be an outcry, man. For sure.
It just makes you go, dude, people are so fucking so tribal.
Oh yeah.
It's so fucked up that it doesn't matter what the fucking person that you voted for did.
Oh yeah, it's the party line shit.
Yeah,
you know, like hey, this was my guy.
It's like, well,
wrong.
But if it was like that needs to be investigated and it needs to be looked into. And it's like it just goes. It's like, dude. So why is it? It has to be. It's either bad both ways or bad not both ways.
Right. You can't
like if it was Trump in the White House, I'd be like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is dumb enough?
Right.
To bring cocaine in the fucking White House and drop it and leave it there.
Right.
And I'm doing the same thing with Biden. Who the fuck is it? What kind of fucking dysfunctional bullshit is this?
Right.
You know.
Well, the fact that there was even
has
cocaine.
To be some decorum. Yeah, that's my point. Well, it's just cocaine, dude. It's an illegal drug that he's enforcing.
Right. Exactly.
So it's in the if he's gonna get some fucking crackhead in fucking in 5 years for a fucking thumbnail worth of crack in fucking Chicago, then you better goddamn well someone needs to be taken accountable for a fucking bag of cocaine in the fucking White House.
Yeah, no kidding. Where was this found? I forget where they found it.
It was found in the West Wing. Here's the thing. They've had different. At first, it was somewhere in the visitors area. Then it was then it was in the archive library or the American.
So the story's
library.
Changing all the time.
Now and then it was in the West Wing, and then we can't figure out who it's from, and then they have cameras everywhere.
Oh, dude, it's a QAnon conspiracy, man.
Well, that's another thing I want to talk about because these fuckers are doing the same thing in this new movie. You ever heard the new movie? You should probably check out. I guarantee you, like maybe if your mom and you go see movies still.
Oh yeah, we're actually she's talked about that too.
Go see Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom.
It's about the child trafficking trade.
Oh really?
Yes, you'll dig it. I know it'll be your fucking movie, dude.
Oh shit!
And okay. It's about the child trafficking. And now people are saying it's a right-wing movie because of QAnon. So this movie is about trying to uncover child trafficking in the U.S. and across the world.
And of course, all the pedos, all the liberal pedos are
they're all saying, "Hey, well, this movie, let me read you some of these. There's some fucked up
comments or whatever people got." Sound of Freedom. All right. Yeah, I'll definitely check that. Well, thanks, man, because we've been trying to think of new movies to go see.
Yeah, that's definitely one you'll want to check out.
Okay.
See, it's like this. Sound of Freedom is a superhero movie for dads with brain worms.
What?
Yeah, like this is the kind of like let's this is from Rolling Stone. The QAnon tinged thriller about child trafficking is designed to appeal to the conscience of a conspiracy-addled boomer. Okay, let me ask you a question.
QAnon, huh?
Is child trafficking
Is
bad?
it good? Well, yes, it's bad.
This is based on a true story about a guy who broke up based on a true story I heard from somewhere across the theater. The familiar words had appeared on a screen, and an elderly man had taken it upon himself to read them aloud to the rest of a sizable audience. These people don't. Okay, it's a movie about a real thing. Is child trafficking real?
Well, of course it is.
Is a movie like this going
And is
to
it
bring,
good? Is it? Who can ever say, "Oh, child trafficking is a great thing"? You know, like, right?
Look at this. Like, this is the guy who stars in the movie. Corvasiel, best known for being tortured to death in Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ, has become a prominent figure on the conspiracist right, giving speeches and interviews in which he hints at an underground body holy war between patriots and a sinister legion of evildoers who are harvesting the blood of.
Dude.
But this movie doesn't talk about that. This movie talks about people getting taken away. It's happening.
Right.
They don't. It's happening why are you even just say okay?
Well, the fact that they're going to bat for child traffickers is
well, it's like
scary.
because it's supposed to be a right wing movie, so it's right wing. So even if it's about child trafficking, it's got to be bad.
Wow, dude,
Yeah.
they've lost their shit. They have lost their fucking commie minds, man.
Yeah, like Sound of Freedom, the QAnon adjacent thriller.
Why is it Q? Well, I mean, I know why but that's wow. Okay.
It says Jim Cavett stars as a hero trying to stop child trafficking in a paranoid new movie, turning into a surprise box office hit. It's happening.
So
that'd be like if they had a movie about rape, and
yeah,
because rape happens, and they said, "Well, a paranoid new movie about
rape." Can you believe it? Well, it's
Yeah.
like that. Remember when I forget what the movie was. It came out little after COVID, and it was about all that shit.
Wow! And this is the first line of the thing about this is called from The Guardian. This is the first line of their paragraph. Type the words "Sound of Freedom" into Twitter. Parentheses. Decent people who wish to live good, happy lives should under no circumstances actually do this. And parentheses, and the search will yield dozens of triumphant reports crowing about the improbable victory of a film by that title over the likes of Indiana Jones at the box office this week. That's not, strictly speaking, accurate. It's like this. It's a movie about child trafficking,
right? Yeah,
and it's supposed to be very well done and very well stated. And
I mean, yeah. Now you've got my interest up, for sure. Definitely want to check it out. But yeah, the fact that they're all of a sudden now it's a conspiracy movie. Oh, Charlie, like remember when there was the thing about COVID? Remember there was, I forget what that movie was. It was I remember seeing the preview for it where people were, getting locked in their homes and told they can't come out and all. What's that? Oh, was that a left-wing conspiracy?
Well,
and movie?
And here's the funny thing with this movie, what they're doing is they're contrasting it with the true story. What's the real true story? Okay. I've seen a lot of movies, La Bamba, JFK, all these. Any story about a real person is going to be different than the movie. It's going to have exaggerations. It's a fucking movie.
Embellishments for the movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Did the real Tim Beller grow frustrated after spending years stopping the end users of child pornography, but never rescuing the kids? Yes, that's true. But the thing is, yeah, like I said, he quit his job because he was fed up with them not actually protecting the kids. Was Tim Ballard's wife okay with him quitting his? Yeah, it's like, but they're doing fact checks on it, which is fine.
Sure. But who gives a shit? I mean, it's
who funded him so he could quit his job? It's like, dude,
oh boy,
trying to stop child trafficking.
Right. It's a noble cause. This isn't
what
like
the fuck. And these people can't because it's been associated with that, and that's the same kind of shit. It's fucking batshit, man.
Wow. Yeah, these people are out of their minds, man. This isn't. These aren't your grandparents' liberals anymore, man.
It's conservative too, because what's happening is that you push one way, you push farther the other way. In other
Yep.
words, you get crazy on the lib side, it's going to bring out all the crazies on the fucking right wingers.
Yep.
All the Christians, them faggots need to die.
Right. Those people too.
The devil's inhabited the gays. The gay.
It ain't Adam and Steve. It's Adam and Eve.
Just give me
damn
a
it.
fucking break, dude. You're the reason why we have these fucking people that are batshit on the other side. You know,
Yeah.
goddamn, it's an evil, it's a sin.
Yep. They perpetuate that bullshit, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy as shit.
Well, I like to suck fucking toes, and I like to fucking fuck women up the ass. But you can't fuck a man up the ass. No.
Yeah. That's it. Everybody has their own fetish.
Jesus Christ, dude.
But
that's the thing. It just polarizes, man. So now we're at these two fucking sides of social media. It's just another example. So, anyways, that's my doom and gloom story of the week because we're all fucked.
oh yeah. What reason America's doomed?
Yep, society is still rating hardcore.
Damn.
rating.
Hardcore rating. Well, shit, dude. I'm trying to think.
You had a story about a certain
Oh,
older
I do.
lady.
I do. Okay, a friend of mine, my friend Leopard. So she told me, because we were texting the other day, she's like, "You won't believe who my new roommate is." Well, I said, "Well, who is it?" I thought it would be somebody I actually knew, but apparently she said it's a 62-year-old prostitute,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, "Okay, I wonder where the fuck you even ran across this person." I think it was probably at her bar, which, by the way, she no longer works at, but
Yeah.
which is a whole nother story, but.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I went over, we were texting Friday and she was like, "Yeah, we should or what'd she say? When you come over sometime, why don't you come over sometime this weekend or something?" And I'm like, "Okay, cool." I was like, "Let's do tomorrow." So anyway, I went over there and her and her husband, Leopard and her husband were hanging out,
Mm-hmm.
we're watching TV and we went and got pizza. Well, her roommate was sleeping the whole time. And I was like, okay, well, she's asleep or in her room or whatever. And Leopard's like, "Yeah, I think she just does that to kind of give us our space a little bit." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, hey, whatever." So her roommate finally comes out and we start talking. And eventually Leopard and Ryan, her husband, go to sleep. So I'm here with the roommate. And I'm like, okay, and at one point she makes some comment about wanting to go to, like a bar or something. So I said, "Okay, you want to go to the Runner?" So I take her, we go to the Runner, I get an Uber and we get to the Runner and she's like, "Hey, she was like, I wanted to gamble, maybe get us some money." And so I said, here's $10. So I gave her $10 to gamble with, right? Because I had just $10 on me. And so she gambles it, loses it pretty quick. And then she's like, "Well, why don't you get out another 20? I'm like, "No, I'm not doing that." And she's like, and then she's doing it on the guise of, "Well, I was hoping maybe we could get us some money, because if I win something, I'll split it with you." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, that's cool." I said, "I don't need money." And I said, I'm totally good, so, and she's like, "Well, if you do that, I'll come home with you." And I'm like, "No, I'm good." So anyway, eventually I had like maybe a beer or two and then left and came home. But and I left her there because I said, "Oh, well, so what are you planning on doing?" She's like, "Oh, I'm just going to go back to her house." And I'm like, "Okay, fine. See you later."
That's funny that you were like, "I'll just go out there with you." You shouldn't have gave her that. Well,
10?
you're nice to give her the 10, but that's why. This is another reason. I'll just say this: that
women do the shit they do, huh?
That people might think, yeah, you shouldn't even. She wasn't even worth giving $10. You're just like, "Oh, I'll give you some cash."
Yeah,
right.
Well, like, okay, fine. Here, you came with me. $10.
Yeah. So you wouldn't do that for a dude who came with you.
No, probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. But then again, maybe
maybe
somebody,
depending if he had a nice voice.
Oh, if he was cute to Belucius, yes, of course.
No, so that's funny though that you're like you give it and she's like, "Oh, you get."
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like, "Oh,
it's like giving her a fix. Like, yeah, you can have you gave her a sip of your Mickey.
Yeah, please. Well, then I told Leopard that this morning. She's like, "I'm kind of pissed off that she tried to work one of my friends." You know what I'm saying? Like, like you shouldn't be. So I don't know if she's going to say anything to her.
Generous. The fact that she actually asked you to express it. Get another. How does she say it? Like, can you give me another?
She was like, "Hey, well, maybe pull out a 20 or something." And I'm like, "No, Like, I'm not doing that. And she's like, well, I could, win us some money. And she's saying, trying to make it under the
Pull out
guise
a 20 or something and said, hey, can I have another? First, even asking you that, we're not knowing you. That's why she's a whore, dude.
well, yeah, apparently. Well,
She obviously doesn't give a shit. She's got a gambling issue, probably. She's like,
Oh, yeah.
you
well,
know?
and that's what's funny. When Leopard said 62-year-old prostitute, I kind of took that with a grain of salt. I thought, oh, okay, prostitute. Yeah, okay. How do you know that? But yeah, apparently, dude, that's her thing.
Because she probably saw it and she probably doesn't hide it. She probably's like, yeah, I am. That's how I pay my bills.
Yeah, I'm a
You know?
whore.
Yeah. And it's like, and that's the thing. Hey, listen, this is 2023. Okay. Prostitution is the oldest profession.
Yeah, and so what? Don't judge me for what I do. I'm a whore. I sell
It's
pussy.
like, my God, I sell pussy, and it's good. See, why don't you respect? This is the problem with the world.
Yeah,
I'm a
people don't
person
see my
too.
profession as a profession.
Exactly. I don't understand that I'm doing a good work for people, and actually, I believe in it a lot. Dude, I don't know why it's.
I don't give a shit. If you want to
I don't
spend
give
money,
a shit.
yeah,
If you want to spend money getting laid, and if someone wants to make money getting pumped,
yeah,
then fucking do it.
But my thing is, don't push some shit on me when I'm an unsuspecting. Like, no, bitch, I'm not like most of these guys.
It's stupid anyways, though, because like you can make a porno where you can pay people to fuck the shit out of each other and film it,
right?
And that's completely legal.
But yet,
you can't fuck somebody. You can't have
you can't give somebody $20 on Boulder Highway for a blowjob.
Yeah, but you can give somebody $20 in the middle of an apartment. While you're filming them, that's going to be seen by millions of people a blowjob for 20.
Right.
But like, what the fuck? Like what logic is that? But but you know what? There's still that mentality,
Yeah.
The dude, he's probably just so lonely. He's gonna go home and cry into his fucking.
And he's blind, so he's desperate for pussy.
He's gonna put on his headphones and rock back and forth and cry.
Yeah. And it's like, no, bitch, you might want to ask somebody about me. Like I said, I've paid for girls in the past, but that's because I liked them. I was actually into them. Yeah. But this chick, I was just like, okay, kind of a.
You mean paid for girls in the past? There was paid for their fucking gambling problem.
Yeah, gambling or
not paid for girls in the past.
Oh, not paid for pussy. No, like.
But then
I'll pay you to fuck me or anything. No, nothing like. Yeah, okay. Thanks for clarifying.
Clarifying that. But then again, is it really any different?
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of the same. It's kind
because you're like them, so you're like, oh, if I give her fucking some money, she might want to suck my cock.
Right. Well, for me, it's just a thing of
it's just gonna be a roundabout way. Well, I'll pay for your 20. Here's another 20 for you. Oh, it's another 20. It's fine. Okay. Right. Are you gonna kiss? You gonna suck my dick? Oh, you put your hand on my leg. Oh, here's another 20. That's the dating game, man. That's the bullshit, dude.
Yep.
They simp fucking guys do on online for these girls that don't even know them. They're just giving money to fucking paying them to be on fucking line. Like,
these you talking about these camera model chicks?
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck, dude? Are the OnlyFans girls? Join my OnlyFans. No, I'm not that goddamn lame. See, and that's the thing too. It's like I don't need pussy that bad, dude. Like. I can, I have a good enough imagination. I can come up with the some of the best stories ever,
Yeah.
I don't need to pay you to have a story to fabricate.
Yeah, it's exactly. That's just funny that she proved you basically exactly what you thought about her.
Yep.
Like she could have been like the golden whore. She's a whore. She's sucking cock, but she's got a heart like a rock.
Or she, I'm that guy that all of a sudden, she sees more of you're different. I see you as someone who, seems like, you really care. And let me put 20 for your drinks.
Or exactly. Or, what? She's like, she's a whore with a heart of gold getting pounded in both holes. While she may be getting pounded in both holes, inside she's got a heart of gold. And she's like, she doesn't ask for anything from me. She's like, I'll just go. And she's like, she actually pays for her own gambling and then pays for her own beers, and then she buys you a beer And then, and then she's just really fucking cool. No, she's the exact fucking stereotype of what you thought would probably happen if, when you went out.
Yep. And one of those things where I was like, well, actually, I didn't honestly didn't think she was going to start asking me for money like that. I offered her the 10, here you go. I got 10 on me. You can start
but it
playing
just fits that stereotype. So now it's like, fuck,
Yeah. Like, you're okay. Yeah, you're a fucking whore.
Yeah, it's like when you're like, that Southerner's not going to burn a cross in their lawn.
And they do.
Oh, well, I guess that stereotype fits.
Well,
that's a joke, of course, because I'm sure a lot of prostitutes wouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
If they were legal, because that's the thing. When it's illegal, people do illegal shit. Most people that do illegal shit, I don't know. They'll kind of do illegal shit.
Well, it's what they do. It's just kind of their thing. How they live.
If it were illegal, though, and just like seen as any other profession, I'm sure there's be a lot more upstanding whores.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, she's not only she's attractive either. You know what I'm saying? Like she's 62 years old, just not. And even Leopard said this morning, she was like, "Ooh, she's kind of gross, or she's really gross." That's what she said. So I'm like, yeah, I can see that.
And you always had, but then again, if you wouldn't invite her over, you wouldn't have the story to tell. And
that's it. I got to give me some fodder for the show. You know what I'm saying? So plus, I was looking to, I was like, I wasn't ready to go home, and they already went to bed. They kind of they got Grand Paddock hours. It was like 7 o'clock, and they were in bed.
Well, they
like,
were probably having.
Oh yeah, having sex, of course.
Makeup sex, again.
Some kind of sex. I don't know.
Some kind of sex.
I'm trying to figure it out.
It's like you don't try to like. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I just don't want to know. Hey, well, I hear enough about it when I'm over there, so it's like, right, yeah. It's almost like they talk too much about it. Like, I wonder if it's really as good as you guys say it is.
Well, anyway, yeah.
Well,
what are you gonna do, man? A whore will be a whore.
Yep, you're just a whore.
It ain't all like Pretty Women, where they're just trying to get out. I just want to become an accountant. I have this brilliant mind for math. Hey, thank you for the 30. Here's $5 in change. See, I got a brilliant mind in math. You asked for 25, gave me 30, I gave you 5 back. She's gonna make something of herself one day.
Shit.
Except she's 60 now. She's 62.
She's 62. So
62-year-old prostitute.
Like this is what you do. Like, I've just always done this.
That's your life.
Yep.
Oh man.
Wow,
dude.
Man.
I bet you could fall into there. Oh, I got a joke that'll work for this, dude.
Okay.
All right, this will end our show here before we wrap up our here. So, all right, so a guy's with this girl, and she goes, "Stick a hand inside me." And so he goes, "Oh, okay." So he sticks his whole hand inside her, and she goes, "Stick your other hand inside of me." So he goes, "Okay." So he sticks his other hand inside of her. And she goes, "Now clap your hands." And he goes, "I can't." And she goes, "See, see how tight I am?"
Oh, okay. Wah, wah, wah.
See, I had to end with a terrible joke.
That was a wah, wah, wah.
I told it bad, actually. It could have been better.
Oh, okay.
That was a crickets.
That was
definitely a crickets moment. But on that high note, this is Nothing Sacred Show for the 9th of July, 2023. I am Cruise Control.
And I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
And that's the story there, bitches. That was pretty good. Yeah, at the end there. Fuck their stuff.
We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred. With Maxwell Silverhammer. We are nothing sacred. With Cruise Control. We are nothing sacred.